with SBL Innovate for use of the NCPB infrastructure to be able to avail their soil conditioners to our farmers. 2022, 31st of March, is when they engaged with NCPB, and in return NCPB would be paid a commission, because NCPB is not funded from the exchequer. They do business and they earn money to run, or make money to run their affairs. So anybody, I would want it to come out clearly that we do not, or we have not, and we have no intention of getting the soil conditioner from SBL Innovate as part of our subsidies that we are giving to farmers. And even this product was, or the commercial contract was signed into even before this administration came into place. Question number 6. The number of farmers that were supplied with the fertilizers and the specific locality. Chairman, you know, NCPB was acting just like any other shopkeeper, where a farmer would just get in and buy and go. So the total number of bags that were sold under that agency within the NCPB fertilizer program, under NCPB outlets, is a chairman that may not exceed around 70,143, because that is the figures that NCPB has. But in terms of telling you how many farmers really were able to get this soil conditioner from SBL Innovate is not possible, because we are distributing it through other channels. But from what went through the NCPB infrastructure is around 70,143. Question number 7. Chairman, you were asking the number of bags of fertilizer that could still be in the market and the mechanism of compensating stockists. As of 9th March 2024, the NCPB, of course, suspended that use of our infrastructure by SBL Innovate to distribute that soil amendment conditioner. And as at that time, the NCPB depots were holding an approximate of 3,276 bags, and this consignment was once let me use the word confiscation or seized, and from that time the NCPB directed the owners of this particular fertilizer, soil conditioner, to really withdraw this product from the market. The chairman, there is question number 8 on the existing mechanism and the shortcomings in ensuring quality specification of agricultural inputs in the market. We would want to say that agricultural inputs that we provide in the market are of high quality, and these products, or the quality assurance from our end, is done by the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service, which is a state corporation and whose mandate is to assure plant health quality and cultural inputs and products towards a food and secure nation. And KEFIS has functions under its Act, and specifically Section 5, to establish even laboratories to monitor the quality and levels of toxic residues, agro inputs, plant source within the country. And I also want to say that our institution has 2 analytical chemical laboratories in Karen and in Kitale, where our analysis of fertilizer and others inputs that we may require are done. And I also want to mention that KEFIS has an annual fertilizer quality monitoring program where approximately 500 samples of fertilizer are collected for stockists on an annual basis and analyzed. They're analyzed to check on their quality. Parameters are analyzed that include macronutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. That is what KEFIS does, and they are on top of things. And I have no doubt in my mind that they have been doing the right thing, save for the shortcomings that we may have generally, that are also not limited to inadequate resources, because we do not have really enough money to upscale to whatever we do. But even within the limited resource envelope, then KEFIS is able to do or to operate and deliver on its mandate. Of course, it lacks the regulatory or enforcement power as one of the challenges, and we have to rely on other agencies. Like, you see, for example, people made a lot of noise. So, for example, when people talk about fake seeds, I know, like one we've confiscated in Njoro. The other day I was in Makueni. We went to walk literally into shops in shops to really establish whether the seeds being sold by some stockists were of the right quality. We found they were not. So the issue of enforcement is also a challenge. Although I want to thank the national government administration officers, because when we called the police in Makueni, they came into sprint and were able to arrest the stockists in Joro. The same thing has happened. So despite those challenges, we are working closely with the other government agencies to really fulfill the mandate of KEFIS. So we have also, the chairman, the challenge of few number of personnel, the analysts, but right now I think we're in the process of recruiting a few of them. We thank Treasury for giving us some leeway on some resources to enable us to build capacity of KEFIS. Chairman, there is question number 9 on you want us to prove that all fertilizer and distributing the program is certified by Kenyan Bureau of Standards. Chairman, when this program started, and I think any item that, because most of our fertilizer is imported from outside, you know, there is certain conditions that any import must really comply with. And part of compliance checks that are undertaken is at the ports of entry tests are done. And the Kenyan Bureau of Standards tests whatever comes into the country, and there is no single time, for example, we have been able to pick any fertilizer coming out of Kenya without the standards being checked by KEBS. I remember the last one that I personally went to receive from Russia. It took us quite some time because I had clearly directed that the results or the analysis must be done so that we are sure there are no radioactive material or the support we are getting from Russia compliant to Kenyan standards. So this is always done, and I want to confirm the fertilizer that we are distributing under the program has always been checked by Kenya Bureau of Standards. And then you also had me mention that with everyone, particularly here, because we have our own independent labs run by KEFIS at least takes around 500 samples every year to check whether whatever is being sold out there really conform or may not be harmful to our plants. Question number 10 is asking us to really mention or to show capacity of the quality of analysis of our labs that have capacity to really analyze this fertilizer and the personnel. And the response here is that just like I mentioned, those assurance analysis are always done by KEFIS, and we're in the process also of trying to build the capacity of KEFIS by recruiting officers that will be able to assist them. We have mentioned that we have a number of 2 laboratories at the headquarters. We have the other one in Kitale region, and Chairman, I would say that the personnel handling samples in our 2 labs, because that is where the story more is all about, is that I want to mention the quality of the staff that we have, is that we have 3 principal chemists that operate in the lab in terms of people properly trained. We have a few technologists that are also 2 principal technologists, 2 senior technologists, and a number of casuals that work in that department. Chairman, there is a question number 11 on what the government has put in place to restore quality of soil that was allegedly affected by fertilizer. Let me say, Chairman, we have answered this question, or not very specifically, but you allow me to really explain our position on this. Number 1, I would want to say that there is no mechanism that is being or that is in place to cure or to deal with the effects of the alleged or the imagined fake fertilizer people are talking about. But however, Chairman, this country for a long time has depended or has used in DAP, and DAP fertilizer is the one that has the ability and the effects of getting us into acidifying our soils. So within government and in the realization of this, we have already developed the National Soil Agricultural Management Policy that will address the issues of restoration and use how to manage our soils properly. The current program on fertilizer that we are running, Chairman, does not have DAP as part of the fertilizer we are distributing to the farmers. And this is all geared to ensuring that we give fertilizer that is the ability to heal our soils that have for a long time been damaged by DAP. That's why you find, like in the market, we have fertilizer like Fomi Kuza, Fomi Otesha, Fomi Nenepesha. This is a fertilizer that is 50% chemical, 50% organic matter. And the whole idea is to ensure that we gradually fertilize our soils and really reduce the acid in our soils. We have also discussed about or asked the farmers, once soil tests have been done, to ensure that we lime our soils to reduce the acidity. So that is how we are trying to deal with the effect of our sick soils. But this problem has not arisen because of what the stories are about fake fertilizer for now. Because it has, whatever people imagine is something that has not been used. This is the time people are talking about a fertilizer that they are not comfortable with. We may be probably, it's not part of the question that we may be answering, and if it is, we will be able to shine the light. We do not have a problem. So there is no reason to why we would have any immediate problem to address the effect of any fertilizer problem for the current season, because this is when the season has started. Jam, you have asked us on question number 12 to compare our maize harvest in the country before and after the fertilizer subsidy program. Chairman, in 2023, Ngondo with us, we are in very good rains. And when immediately we started this program in the 2022, immediately this administration came into office, the total number, we were able to increase the total area and a maize to 2.88 million hectares. And we were able to push within that first year production of maize from an average of 34 million for below 2022 to the current production of above 60 million bags. So when you look, Chairman, in terms of increase, you realize that we have increased production by over 70%, because the numbers have moved from 30 million, 34 to 60 million. We have increased our acreage to 2.8 million hectares. The experiences, the problems we have encountered in this subsidy program, Chairman, of course, Chairman, there are certain, the supply chains have been disrupted because of a global crisis, like the Russia-Ukraine war. Ships are now taking longer than before. That year we had serious problems to do with fluctuations of the dollar against the Kenya shilling. We also had serious financial constraints because there was also delay in the release of a subsidy program component, and we would take or we would delay in paying our suppliers. Of course, I can't forget to mention that we are also constrained in terms of staff because we didn't have budgets to put in more staff. We were working with the counties to really do the last mile deliveries within very short periods. We are implementing an e-voucher. We want to take time to register farmers because we didn't want it done manual. So we had a number of challenges which, Chairman, we've really tried to deal with, and I think it's getting better as we move forward. I think the last experience or challenge I had was last week when I went to Erbagon, Sirikwa, Molo, in Nakuru County, where there was issues of power disruptions. So without power, farmers were not able to redeem their vouchers, and they may require us to start thinking or coming before this committee to ask for money to be able to ensure that they are standing by generators within our redemption centers. Finally, and the last, Chairman, is you've asked us to really to give any other information that I feel is necessary to bring to the attention of this committee. Chairman, what I feel is necessary to bring to the attention of this committee for now is for the committee to appreciate, Chair, that the country has had a national serious food security problem. And there is need for all of us to work together to restore confidence to our farmers, for them to be able to produce more food for ourselves, or more food that we can get a surplus to feed other nations, to add value for this country to join the class of food exporters, because I believe we have good source. We have very young population that we can really put into employment through